Better watch out for the boys in blue and all this small town. He said, she said. Ain't it funny how rumors spread like I know something y'all don't know? Man, that talk is getting old. You better mind your business, man. Watch your mouth before I have to knock that.
Today I will be speaking with two amazing people who have been around the sports environment for over 20 years. They will be answering several questions about life in sports and their opinions on the overall environment. Enjoy.
I grew up in a neighborhood where we played everything. So whatever sport was in season, we played football, basketball, baseball, ran track, played soccer. So I did every sport and still played golf on the side every now and then and tried to play basketball.
In high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball. And when I went to college, I got a Division I scholarship to play softball. And after college, I got drafted and played professional softball. Believe it or not, there's a professional league. And I did that for 3 years post college.
Okay.
Both of my parents were really active. They were playing softball and soccer and basketball when I was growing up. And everybody in my family played, so it was just something that you did. You were always involved in a team sport and competing and doing stuff around the yard or the house, and so we were always doing something.
My brother was into sports as a kid, and I kind of wanted to be just like him. So I started playing football in the streets, street hockey with them, which then turned into like t-ball, baseball, and then ultimately turned into softball. I started playing when I was 8, and then I started playing competitive softball when I was 11.
Teamwork and teaches you how to compete, and teaches you how to share a little bit and give of yourself, and it also teaches you a good work ethic, because you got to go to practice and be dedicated to something else, and outside of something that maybe makes you comfortable, you got to do something different.
Absolutely. I think sports can teach you a lot of things, especially with discipline, time management. Overall, I believe that sports will teach you how to be a team player. When it comes to different things that sports can teach you, more of like respect one another, respect each other, how to be a part of something, how to fail at something and still be successful, and then also how to win and be successful throughout life.
I was really fortunate. I had some really good high school coaches and junior high coaches, and they were really good role models for me, and then I really enjoyed my college coaches, and that's what got me started.
So after college, like I said earlier, I played in the professional league, and then I decided to go into coaching. So I decided to hang my cleats up. I went and got my master's degree, which a lot of head coaching jobs post high school, you have to have a master's degree to be able to coach. I coached at Fort Hays State University in Kansas for 2 years. And then I came to Arizona, where I'm from, and I also coached at South Mountain Community College for 7.5 years. The reason why I went into coaching overall was to impact students, athletes ultimately, and I really loved the game of softball and kind of where it took me throughout my years, and I want to do the same thing for others. I would have to say that a mentor of mine, Stacy Iverson, she was my junior college coach. After I came back my freshman year from Division I and went junior college. She's at the University of Arizona now, and she's phenomenal. She impacted my life in many ways, and I wanted to take the same steps moving forward as she did with me to impact other women. So I believe that's the reason why I decided to go into coaching.
It's no different than a person that's never been to the ballet or the opera or studied art. And I think it's something that even people that are just kind of sports nuts, if you get outside your comfort zone a little bit, you can always learn something from everything. And you'll probably find something in anything that you do outside of that comfort zone that you actually enjoy.
I think overall the ones you see on TV obviously is the very young 1%. Only 1% of athletes make it to the professional level. And I also think that it's very hard to compare the professional level with the everyday lives because they're $1 million contracts and they're $1 million business deals. And ultimately throughout the day, they still work extremely hard. They're extremely talented in their sport. But I think athletics overall teaches an individual a lot more than what professional athletes show. Many professional athletes say that they're not mentors, but ultimately at the end of the day, people are going to look up to them. They are. to young kids, to adults, I mean, that kind of thing. We pay a lot of money to go watch sport, which obviously helps their contracts. But there is a big difference with kids that work their tail off, you know, from a club ball level. They're practicing 3-4 nights a week for 3-4 hours, trying to also stay on top of their studies throughout high school and grade school. And then ultimately at the college level, I'm not sure people understand that the commitment that college kids actually make. It's a 40+ hour a week job, plus being a student full time. With all of the eligibility that follows them, they cannot take a day off when it comes to being a good student and a good athlete. And as you move up the food chain from Division 1s on down, and then vice versa, moving up, it gets harder and harder and more of a quote unquote job for these students.
I think it's the time commitment, you know, just to get a game, you know, or to recruit players or get guys on your team, whatever it is. And for guys to be successful in their sport and just to be able to compete, there's a lot of time invested, a lot of effort and energy that's way away from the game that people never see.
I think the hard work that's behind it overall, I think some people stereotype us, I can say us because I was a college athlete, as a dumb jock. But the reality of the situation is that most athletes have to be pretty smart to be successful in their sport. Especially when you use football, for an example. I've never played football, but I took a football class in college, and it was probably arguably one of my hardest classes because there's just so much fine tuning when it comes to football. You know, I'm not sure that the offense guys would understand the entire defense playbook, and I'm not sure the defense guys would understand the entire offense playbook, and, you know, vice versa. But when it comes to every sport, there's a lot of finite details that go into the sport that I think people don't see that are watching, or the hard times of practice, or the thousands and millions of ground balls that you take, or the thousands and millions of BP that you take, or the catches. I mean, every sport has its little nick and knack that you have to be successful at, and I'm not sure that people understand the hard work that it takes to get the level that you guys are, and then to even get to the next level and then move forward from there.
I think the big thing is just get out and enjoy something. Always try something different. It doesn't have to be athletics. It doesn't have to be a competition or a sport. But always do something outside your comfort zone every day. Find something that's different, new. Try it and see what you can find that you enjoy.
I think ultimately, some people give athletics a bad name, but overall, I think athletics is kind of what makes the world spin and turn. If we didn't have athletes, I think the world would be kind of boring overall. But I also think that at times people need to work harder when they're in athletes to make sure that they're not falling under the stereotype of being a quote unquote dumb jock and being successful. If you look at a lot of the CEOs and or a lot of the very successful businessmen and women in this world, somewhere in some point of their lives, they probably were a part of athletics. It also teaches individuals not only to be part of a team, but how to overall be a leader in this world.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.